know what it's like to lose. Feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail nonetheless. It's frightening. Turns the legs to jelly. I ask you, to what end? Dread it, run from it, destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
Because a man can't be a man when he's saddled down up to his neck in debt with a dissatisfied woman who don't give a damn. She wants more and more and more. Let me tell you something, woman. We ought to take you and throttle you. I'm just telling you straight up. You don't want no man like me. You couldn't live with a man like me. Because I would not take that damn foolishness from one of you. For 1 minute I'd drive you through the door. I don't like no woman to dominate no man. And I don't like no woman who even tries. Then you see another side.
I hope you don't think that you're going to get any of this cookie.
Now, you can hit the sheets of the streets. It don't make me no never mind. Now, that's your bag, baby. You can go or you could come. Can you dig it?
Right now, we do not have not one single black community in America. All you got are black neighborhoods. A neighborhood is where you eat and sleep. A hotel is a neighborhood. And in some of these neighborhoods, it's gotten so bad now, they're not even neighborhoods anymore. Crime has gotten so high, they ran the neighbor out. All you got left is a hood. That's why they call it the hood. Nothing left in there. They don't have any communities. A community must have 3 elements. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can produce jobs, services, goods, products, and resources for your own people. 2, the second thing you must have in there, you must have a code of conduct, saying this is how we're going to behave. Here's how we're going to love and support each other, appreciate them, care about them, protect them. And lastly, you must have politicians elected to office who will represent you first and foremost. You don't put black folk in public office that will look out for everybody else before they look out for you. If you don't have those 3 things, you don't have a community. You don't have.
The champ is here! 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 The champ is here!
It's your boy, the Ben Israel, the People's Champ, back with another YouTube live stream. April 12th, 2024. It's coming up to, let's see, bottom of the hour, y'all. Almost 10:30 here on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time, in the QC, the Queen City. It's the one and only Mucho Gusto, Ben Israel, the Cookie Monster, Chef V, the Heisenberg of this ish, the Shogun of Charlotte. It's your man, the People's Champ. Hope everybody is doing well. Y'all made it. You made it through the week. Happy Sabbath Day, Israel. Happy Sabbath Day. Y'all made it. You made it. It was a rough week. Take a lap. Did y'all take a lap after you got off work? Just put your hands over your head and walk around the parking lot before you get in the car. Take a lap. Now, any of you ever played sports, particularly basketball? We do it in football too. After practice or if you got a hard workout, you don't just end the workout. In practice, all right, take a lap. That's the cool down period. Put your hand over your heads and walk and breathe regularly, not through your mouth, through your nose. That's what you gotta do. That's taking a lap. So everybody should have took a lap today after they got off. Oh man. Oh man. Today's topic. Whoa. Wait a minute. I'm jumping the gun. How everybody doing? On your way in the door, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button and smash the bell. Share it to your fake book. Or whatever other socials you prefer to share it to. Clip it up. I don't care. Clip it. Just share it. Always can't share the whole thing. I get it. Share. Hit the Cash App. It's in the description. $ send to V. Send me $2 for the Pure Leaf Tea Fund. Keep it going. I mixed it up a little bit this week, y'all. I got a little Arizona teas too. Got some Arizonas. My Walmart ran out of regular Pure Leaf tea. So I had to go to my backup. But I hope everybody is doing well. Oh yeah, man. We're gonna strap in and put the seatbelt on. The seatbelt light is on. Strap in. When we get to cruising altitude, I may take the turn the seatbelt light off and let y'all freely move around the cabin. But right now we ain't there yet. So just cool out. You're in good hands. Captain speaking. So tonight's topic. Your timing is off. And, I really couldn't decide between either one of these could have been my timing. Out of sync. You're out of sync. Your timing is off. All right, that's really two. I gave y'all 2 for 1. Oz is in the chat. She says with her signature, "Hey y'all." Okay, Oz is in the chat. Make sure you drop your link if you're going live tonight. Drop your link anyway so people could subscribe to Oz 78. Make sure you are subscribed over there as well. We appreciate that. So yeah, you got your timing is off, and this isn't directed at the ladies or specifically the ladies or specifically the young men. You young ladies, you young men. It's not a battle of the sexes kind of conversation. Y'all both off. And when I say young, when I'm talking to young people right now, I'm talking to you millennials, you Zoomers. That's who I'm talking to right now. Y'all timing is off. The reason I'm talking to y'all, because anybody older than y'all, it don't matter. They timing been off. They've been fucking up all their life. They ain't gonna change. That's why they passed it down to you. And I want to make y'all aware of it. Because I listen to a lot of conversations And I observe a lot. Um, you know, young women, particularly when y'all say, oh, I'm 24, I'm too young to have kids, I'm too young to be married and settle down, I'm too young. See, that's the attitude that got created by baby boomer women, and they started passing that down to Gen X women, who were the first women to actually do it, right? To really embrace this ideology. Hmm? Because even though the baby boomer women were saying this thing and they were passing this ideology on the younger women, at the same exact time, they themselves had husbands, and they had husbands at early ages. For the you know, for the large groups, I would say the majority of them, they wasn't waiting until their mid 30s to get married and up. Most of them baby boomer women, if they got married in their 20s, early 20s at that. And if they wasn't married in their early 20s, they was in a committed relationship. They dated the guy for 2 or 3 years. So they was 21, dated the guy for 3 years, now they 24, and then they got married. Or even earlier, you know. I mean, you see it, people, those older women, oh, I've been with my husband 30 years, but we've been married 20. They say stuff like that. You know, they met in high school, they met in college, and they were together throughout it all, and then got married. They wasn't riding the carousel and then got, it don't work that way. They were they were in an active relationship, working towards marriage, and it eventually led to marriage for most of them. I use myself all the time. I know that's anecdotal, but my mom is four of them. It's Marion, Gloria, Vera, and Joyce. It's four sisters. They all got married in their 20s, early 20s. Um, Gloria has passed away. She was married until she passed away. Marion's husband passed away. They were married until he passed away. Joyce is married, and Vera is married. Vera is my mother. I saw my stepfather in the hospital earlier this week. He had an appendix burst, so send up your prayers for Mr. Lewis. And he's older than my mom. He's gonna be 80 this year. Um, yeah, that's that age gap dating that y'all claim wasn't happening. Milt was significantly older than Marion. Art was significantly older than Vera. Um, the other two had their husbands that close to them in age. So women have always dated older men. That's nothing new. Doesn't make the man a pedophile. Men prefer fertile younger women. It's always been that way. Anyway, I ain't gonna say that. different conversation. But So my mother and my stepfather, they've been together since I was 4 years old. 4 years old. So listen, my mother had me when she was 18. 4 years to that was what? 22. So she met her husband when she was 22 years old. And they've been together ever since. 44 years if y'all can't do the math. I'll be 48 in August. Their anniversary is shortly thereafter. Okay? But y'all's timing is off today where you're supposed to be doing a thing at a certain time and y'all are screwy because the rest of the world is in sync. You look at women from any other demographic of people, and this is when they get married. This is when they start making families, having kids. You have fun in high school. You don't have fun in 20s. 20s is you got to get it together. And even more so now than when I was a kid because of the economics of it, just from an economic standpoint. So all y'all doing by delaying marriage and delaying relationships and working together is all y'all do is add debt. And debt makes y'all less attractive to a man of value, right? Now, a lower value man is not even going to think to ask about your debt. He ain't going to notice the signs. But men of higher value, average and above, we know things cost. We're going to start adding things up in our heads. Like, I know she got student loan debt because she went to so-and-so school. She got this car, this Tesla, or whatever. I know how much cars cost today. I know how much insurance costs. She like to get her hair done. She like to get her feet and nails done twice a month. Men start adding up the cost in their head. She like to go out. She like to go shopping. She always buying something. And you could be physically appealing, but you're not financially appealing. And a man of higher value is thinking long term. I want to get with a woman so we can get together with life, put ourselves in a position in our late 20s to buy a house. Because we know it's going to take 30 years or more to pay off a house. Houses are going up. They're not going down. Average mortgage has been 30 years. It's going to be 50 soon. So you're going to wait till 40 years old to get with a woman and then try to pay off a 30-year mortgage? You will be dead before the house is paid off. Does that make sense? But if you get together in your 20s or with a woman in her 20s, 30 years, that means you can pay your house off. If you're 10 years older than her, you'll be 60, she'll be 50. In that age range. If you make good financial decisions, you might be able to pay it off early. That's what a man of value is thinking about. He's looking at what kind of car you chose to get. Did you buy a new car or did you go to a buy here, pay here place? And you went to a buy here, pay here place and you bought what kind of car? Like, that's a bad financial decision. Now, if you're going to a buy here, pay here place and you're getting something under $15,000, that's a good starter car. pay that off, no harm, no foul. You're not making that's not a lifetime commitment. But these girls go to car lots and finance $30,000, $40,000 cars at extremely high interest rates. Instead of, because they wanted that BMW, they wanted that Lexus, they wanted that Benz, they wanted that Audi. So instead of buying a new car, a Chevy Bolt or something like that from a deal, Kia Forte from a dealership, they wanted the flaws. So they went to the used car lot and bought the Escalade with the rims at a ridiculous interest rate, right? Not thinking. And they finance it for 7 years. They financing these 10-year-old luxury cars or semi-luxury cars for 10 flipping years at a ridiculous interest rate. Instead of starting out with something, humbling themselves and starting out with something small, get that Chevy Forte or Kia Forte or whatever the hell it is with a good interest rate. Ford and Chevy always got those low interest rates on the new cars. And if you could finance a used car, you damn sure could finance a new car. Damn sure. Your credit typically has to be better to buy a used car than it does a new car. A lot of people don't know that. Especially when we're talking even money. And the banks look at the new car as less of a liability because it's a new car. Right? I don't want to get into the debate and discussion on this right now, but I mean, there's a reason why wealthy people don't go to buy here, pay here car lots. Middle class people and more wealthy people, because it's a bad investment. But the longer you buy yourself in your 20s, ladies, you're going to make bad financial decisions. I mean, you can watch Kevin. Just go back and watch some of the old Kevin Samuels clips. And he talks to these women. They all highly educated, quote unquote. They working on their masters. They this and that. And he asks them a basic math question or a basic logic question, and they can't answer it. I watched one yesterday. The girl, the show was about what is your cap? What is your ceiling? And the girl claims she's working on her master's. She got a bachelor's. She claims she make $80,000 a year, but she couldn't understand this basic conversation. He tried to explain it to her forwards and backwards and up and down. She couldn't get it. He just eventually got tired and moved on from her. It was simple stuff. It wasn't a complicated question. He asked her, so okay, after he explained it, okay, so what do you think your cap is? 42. What? He doesn't explain to her it ain't the age of the man that I'm talking about. How high a value man do you qualify for? Is what he was talking about. Everybody has a ceiling. And typically, average people get average people. But timing is off. And she was 25, I think. And this is what made I started thinking about this topic yesterday. I I'm always fascinated. Now, going back to school after you've been in the workforce for some time, there's nothing wrong with that. That's always been normal because you hit that glass ceiling. You've been on a job and you can't get a promotion because they hit you with you don't have enough education, so you go back and get more education. And then they move the goalposts again on you anyway. But anyway, most people graduate college between 21 and 22. That's 4 years of school. That's a bachelor's degree. You're now 25, so you've been out of school 3 to 4 years. What have you been doing? What have you been doing? And I'm working on my master's, but they will have you believe, like this young lady who lived in Texas. I remember her, that her little bachelor's degree was paying her $80,000 a year in Texas. Let that sink in, y'all. She don't already have a master's. She has a bachelor's. She didn't say what a bachelor's was in. At least I might have missed it. But that means she just got into her career. She's only been in her career a couple of years. Lawyers, first few years don't make $100,000. Entry level lawyers, on average, are like in most states, most normal states, it's like 60. She's claiming to make $20,000 more than somebody who's been to law school. Somebody who's been to medical school, entry level doctors. That's what they want you to believe. But the timing is off, among other things. Among other things. And they're out of sync with other women. Black women are the only group of women who say this. You don't see a bunch of Asian women running who actually might be making that money because they open businesses. You don't see a bunch of Spanish women, white women. You don't see no other group of women doing this except young black girls or black women in general just lying about how much money they make. 80,000. A lot of times what they do, here's how the lie starts. They might have had a good week at work. For example, there was a time during Hurricane Katrina. Amanaz and myself were working for a company called OnStar, right? We had unlimited overtime during Hurricane Katrina because a lot of people were breaking into the vehicles, any kind of Chevy, GMC vehicle, General Motors vehicle had OnStar in it to get help. They were pressing the emergency button in the vehicles. And we were routing emergency services down there, right? That's what we were doing, unlimited overtime. It lasted from the day of Hurricane Katrina, damn near almost a year of unlimited overtime, plus $50 an hour on top of that. Now, during that time period, our salaries were inflated. Even if you didn't work a lot of overtime and you just did a little bit, that's going to bump your salary up. And if you only look at the weekly, you ain't even looking at your annual, you're looking at your weekly salary. Like, oh, I doubled my salary this month kind of thing. So yeah, if I keep this up, I'll be at 100,000. That's what they tell themselves in their heads. Yeah, but you only did that for 1 month. You didn't do that for the entire year. It wasn't very many, few of us, rather. It was a few of us who was sleeping in that motherfucker like I was, getting as much as we could. It was a lot of people, even with all of that money on the table, they just didn't want to work. They just didn't want to work. When that clock struck whatever, their shift was over, they was running out the door, leaving all that money on the table. And what they didn't know is, because normally we take calls from the dealerships when people get new cars, and we got to set up their accounts. We had suspended that in the very beginning of Hurricane Katrina because we needed all hands on deck for emergency services. That's it. That's all we were doing in the beginning. So you were pretty much just sitting there waiting for the phone to ring. It wasn't getting back-to-back calls. I mean, there were times, but a lot of times we was just sitting there waiting for emergency services and praying. You know, we were praying for these people. But people missed out on that money. I can't remember ever being at a job that did that since then or before then. Understand what I'm saying? I was making like 16, this early 2000s, $16 an hour plus commission is what I was making. So overtime is time and a half, right? Plus $50 an hour. And yeah, they paid the $50 on gift cards, but so what? Those gift cards, you could go right to the ATM and take the cash off off the gift card, or pay your bills with a gift card. That's what I used to do. I skipped the ATM. I just paid my bills with that one and kept my regular pay. There were times during that year I didn't even touch my regular check. I was living strictly off of gift cards. I had so many of them coming in. They were bringing me stacks of them. But y'all timing be off. And that's how a lot of times y'all get caught in your lie, because y'all don't think it through. And it sounds delusional because you're out of sync with the rest of the world. Your timing is off. You're trying to do things, your biological clock tells you the optimum time for you to be making babies. You should be married and in a relationship before you make babies. So what does that mean? Earlier is better than later. But they want to play, and they want to play games for 20 years. They start playing in high school. They 15, 16-year-olds in high school playing. They're not taking life seriously. They're not thinking about, oh, I'm about to be grown in 2 years. I'm about to graduate in a year and a half. They're not thinking like that. They thinking like, oh, I got unlimited time. 15 and 16-year-olds. They're not taking their SATs. They're not applying for colleges. They're not thinking about how they're going to sustain themselves after high school. They don't start thinking about that. The majority of them. The timing is off. So 20 years goes by. Now they're 35. And they're just starting to think about adult shit. Men and women. Because I ask them, I see some of these guys, the hell you been doing? What you been doing since 18? What have you been doing? Nothing productive. Nothing. I'm sorry, y'all. My StreamYard booted me mysteriously. But yeah, then they come back off their vacation, right? And they got eviction notices, which means they ain't been paying their rent for a while. Or they got cut off notices. Again, they don't send those to you after you miss one payment or just for being late. But because so many of us operate like this normally, so many of us don't even pay our bills until you get the final notice. Just live like this all the time. And then you going on vacation. Or you going on you're going on a little vacation. You ain't traveling. You're going on a vacation. That's what you're doing. And all of this is part of Order 66.
Execute Order 66. Execute Order 66.
Right? Got your timing screwed up. Got your timing screwed up. Men and women. Young men and women. You're supposed to be doing things at certain... And this is historically up. Even in remnants of my generation. Gen X. We were in high school in the 90s. So I'll use me as an example. I started high school in 1990. So, and I graduated in 94. Right? There were those of us who had a sense of urgency. We knew we had to take SATs at a certain time. We knew we had to take the ASVAB if you was going into the military. You had to start thinking what you were going to do when you got out of here. Because it's coming fast. I had fun in high school. I had more fun than most of y'all did. Because y'all really don't be doing shit. Y'all really don't do nothing. I was in band. No, I was in band in junior high school. So I had already been traveling with the band. I mean, we went to Canada one year. We went to Florida for a band competition. So when I got to high school, I had already been out the country and I'd already been traveling around the country. I played sports. We traveled. Basketball, track. We always traveled. especially, you know, basketball. We got into a tournament. Well, when I was in Jersey, I was with a very good track team. We went to tournaments too. When I came down south, we had a small school. But we had a decent basketball team. So we went to tournaments and traveled around the state and had fun, went to parties and this and that. And I went places with my family domestically. I had a good time in high school. But yeah, but y'all timing is off, and it's like y'all are slow to grow up when y'all should have been thinking about this stuff in high school. Some of y'all are getting into your 30s and you ain't started thinking as an adult. You still got childlike behaviors. Still want to play video games. Still want to go to GameStop. You still think mama's gonna come bail you out. Daddy gonna come bail you out. You still got that thinking. Your actions don't really count. Your decisions don't really count. You're out of sync. You're out of sync, people. Young people. And y'all think somebody like me who's saying this to you, oh, you hating, you a hater, you know. No, y'all think everything you don't like is hate. But when I was a kid, it was called constructive criticism. And when people take the time out to give you constructive criticism, those people actually care about you. They want to see you do better. Otherwise, the people who hate you, they just gonna sit back and let you fail. But somebody who wants to see you do better doesn't hate you. But you got to be honest with yourself. And that's why the constructive criticism comes in, because you're not honest. You're denying reality. You're effing up, as they would say. And it's too much wasted time. Again, the young lady, she graduated college, 22, I'm assuming. What has she been doing for the last 4 years? And she ain't, and if she was making that kind of money right off the gate, why would she even? I would be dedicating every minute to my job. And then Kevin asks her, well, what do you think you're going to be making at the height of your career, midway through your career? You're about 45. She's talking about $1 million. Lady, stop. Stop. It's the delusion. It's the out of sync. Those numbers don't even add up. Based on her numbers, she should be making more than $1 million by the time she gets 45. Based on her numbers. Too many people are out of sync. You don't have time to play games. And you're not giving yourself any advantage by postponing things. Early bird catches the worm. Hasn't that always been the expression? You are in the competition, young people. There are other groups of people out here competing against you, whether you know it or not. That's what capitalism is. So, for example, that house I talked about, trying to buy it early, because you start building equity early. So that way, when you get in your 30s and your 40s, you have some economic gains. You got some wealth you've accumulated. And that gives you power to do other things. So because you postponed it, you have no equity and you're competing against other groups of people who do. They get the better interest rates. They can afford to send their kids to college. They can afford to have their kids come back at home. Right? They can afford to take out a home equity loan to buy a car instead of financing at a high interest rate. But because your timing is off, you don't even know what I'm talking about right now. They got IUL they've been adding money into for the last 10 to 20 years while you've been going on girls trips or whatever. You've been going on girls trips. They've been putting their money in the IUL. So now they living their best life in 40 and you struggling, frustrated, the whole nine. Y'all didn't hear in the opening what Dr. Claude Anderson said? He gave y'all the formula.
Right now, we do not have not one single black community in America. All you got are black neighborhoods. A neighborhood is where you eat and sleep. A hotel is a neighborhood. And in some of these neighborhoods, it's gotten so bad now, they're not even neighborhoods anymore. Crime has gotten so high, they ran a neighbor out. All you got left is a hood. That's why they call it the hood. Nothing left in there. They don't have any communities. A community must have three elements. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can produce jobs, services, goods, products, and resources for your own people. Two, the second thing you must have in there, you must have a code of conduct, saying this is how we're going to behave. Here's how we're going to love and support each other, appreciate them, care about them, protect them. And lastly, you must have politicians elected to office who will represent you first and foremost. You don't put black folk in public office that will look out for everybody else before they look out for you. If you don't have those three things, you don't have a community.
I hope you don't think that you're going to get any of this cookie.
Now you can hit the sheet to the streets. It don't make me no never mind. Now that's your bag, baby. You can go or you could come. Can you dig it?
God damn it!
All right, y'all. I'm sorry. StreamYard booted me again. They acting a little finicky tonight. I guess I'm telling too much. I'm telling too much good stuff. You start talking too much good stuff, and Big Brother be watching. New World Order be watching. Yeah, you know how I go. But yeah. But yeah, man, you young people, I'm trying to get you back on schedule. You got to catch up. It's gonna take effort. Nobody's gonna do it for you. You got to decide. I'm not fast enough. I'm not strong enough. I got to train harder. I got to lift some weights. I got to build my body up. These things you should have been doing in high school. That's what high school is for. Preparing yourself for life. It ain't preparing yourself to go play. Playtime is over when you graduate high school. Did y'all graduate? Did y'all not hear the pomp and circumstance playing? The beginning of one thing, the end of one thing is the beginning of another. The end of playtime, the beginning of grown time. That happens when you graduate high school. But y'all think, oh no, I got it. I got an extended time to play now. If that was the case, we would have kept you in high school. If 24 was too young, we would have just kept you in high school. That's not the normal. But at the same time, you want to tell us how smart you are, how much you know. But you don't know basic things because you're out of sync with reality. You're out of phase with reality. Trying to help you. And anybody not telling you what I'm telling you, young people, they don't care about you. They care about themselves. So they don't want to piss you off. So you'll be mad at them. I don't care. I don't care one way or other whether you're mad or not. But you ain't gonna be able to say Dad didn't tell me or Mr. V didn't tell me. Champ didn't tell me. Nobody told me. See, when I was a kid, the old men didn't tell us shit. So we make it a point to tell y'all. We had to figure out a lot of things on our own. So we're telling y'all what you got to do, how to help yourselves, and y'all fighting us, and they ain't got shit to show for it. And then you want to go, but what about you? What about we ain't talking about us? We made our mistakes. Our lives are what it is. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Trying to help you, dummy. I made mistakes. Yes, so you shouldn't have to. But then ain't nobody perfect. Then why you holding me to a perfect standard? Why you holding my mistakes against me if ain't nobody perfect? But let's compare me. So I said to my son recently, it's 24. Let's compare me at 24 to you at 24, to you right now. You're not even in my league. You're not even close. I'm sorry. I've been trying to prepare you. Hardhead. Don't listen. So you're going to do that for the next 20 years? And then when you get to be my age, you ain't going to have shit to show for it. Barring a miracle. Young people. And I don't like how you said it. Who cares? Nobody's going to care. Ain't nobody here to placate your feelings. Y'all wouldn't have survived with my grandparents. with people of that generation, you wouldn't have made it. They said exactly what they thought, and they didn't give a shit and keep it moving. You don't like it, get the fuck out. That was the end of it. It wasn't none of that. But get the fuck out was the next conversation. You ain't get to back talk your own daddy. Somebody might have smacked the dog shit out of you for back talk. That's it. You might got you would have got hit with something, a shoe, or worse, a broom, extension cord. These people that y'all call y'all grandparents and great-grandparents, y'all don't know them. They got soft now, but when we was coming up, they didn't play that shit. Yeah, backhand the shit out of you and keep doing what they was doing like nothing happened. And guess what? The police ain't come. You couldn't call 911 or social services. You better not. Y'all soft. Spoiled. And the same people who treated us harshly spoiled y'all. Because when we got of age, why y'all doing them kids like that? We looking at them like, are y'all shitting us? Or were all of y'all just so fucking high you don't remember what you was doing? We ain't doing nowhere near what y'all was doing. Unbelievable. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Baby. But you got to get it going, people. That's my point. I'm trying to help y'all. You don't have time. You got to get going and fast. And y'all got opportunities available to y'all. I mean, they're different from what we had. But y'all got opportunities that are available. Hell, a lot of y'all could work from home and don't even know it. I told Sunday out the other night, last night, start making thumbnails. Learn how to teach yourself how to make thumbnails. People pay money for that. That wasn't no option when I was a kid. Hell, that wasn't no option when I was adult doing thumbnails for real. I wish I could sit home and make $100 a day on the internet doing thumbnails. I would. Hell yeah. That's about what I used to charge for logos or business card designs. But that wasn't even steady. Then the recession came in and shut that down. But y'all got opportunities. You just got to play out your mind. Got to get play out your mind. Get going. And you got help. Never before. You got anything you want to know, you go on YouTube. There's a video. Various people, not one person, multitudes of people teaching you how to do that thing. Telling you where to go to get the information. Shit. Y'all ain't using y'all resources. But that's all I got, man. That's all I got. I'm kicking the can. I'm beating a dead horse, whatever you want to say. Like, subscribe, and share on your way out. Right? Don't forget to hit the Cash App on your way out. Support the Pure Leaf Tea Fund. And stay tuned. Stay tuned. Be back again.
Because a man can't be a man when he's saddled down up to his neck in debt with a dissatisfied woman who don't give a damn. She wants more and more and more. Let me tell you something, woman. We ought to take you and throttle you. I'm just telling you straight up. You don't want no man like me. You couldn't live with a man like me. Because I would not take that damn foolishness from one of you. For 1 minute, I'd drive you through the door. I don't like no woman to dominate no man. And I don't like no woman who